123 yards in 3 quarters of football. That's not bad. I don't care what league you're playing in.
And he's averaging 123 yards per game on the ground. And we'd also like to say this game is being dedicated to Susie Bristow, a young girl who's had a lot of tough time in the hospital, and the 90-pounders have dedicated this contest to her. Nice tribute, John, and we all hope and pray that Susie gets better. Well, we're there for the opening kickoff now, and the man we talked about, McConnell, gets it. But he stopped right there. A lot of red jerseys in there stopping up play, and Jason Clark was one of the first men to hit him there for Westmont.
Well, Mark, I think what we're going to see is Westmont trying to key on McConnell and shut him down. Now, we might point out that Oakland plays, again, a sophisticated offense. They like to use McConnell, but they have a tremendous little left-handed quarterback, John Vogelsong. Throws a good ball.
As you mentioned, Vogelsong will be calling the signals. It'll be Bob Brune. Jim Leslie, and Charles Schaefer. First play of the game, and we have a flag.
And we had encroachment by Westmont that time. Anticipating the snap, they jumped the line of scrimmage just a fraction too soon.
So 1st and 10. Now we'll have a 1st and 5 situation for Oakland. Let's set up that Westmont defense right now. On the line, it's Bill Popoff. Chris Hossman will be your left tackle. John DeLillo, the tough nose guard. David Pugh at right tackle. And Craig Brady, 17, the right end. We'll get the rest of it after this play. 1st and 5 from the 32-yard line. Outside running. Beautiful run right there by Oakland. A fine play, and that's Sean Little, a good little running back. No pun intended. Fine play, picks up the first down.
Well, he made a good move that time, Mark. Managed to string out the defense. His right side line did a good job at clearing out a hole, and he waited for the blocks to set up, turn the corner, and it took some good team tackling by Westmont to track the youngster down and bring him down to the ground.
And we do have a youngster down right now, so we got to look at it.
Here Sean turns the corner. Good move to get away from one man. Good pursuit at the same time. Finally brought by David Gamble and a host of his teammates. Good team tackling. Now what Westmont's going to have to do is keep their nose on the ball in this match. Sean is up and moving, we might point out, going off the field under his own power. He took a tough hit that time, went down at a funny angle.
And that's good to see. He's going off on his own power on there. Gain of 10 yards on that play. And let's get the rest of this Westmont defense. The linebackers, Len Emmerich, he'll be wearing number 31 along with 81, Brett Nazarick. The defensive secondary, Brad Strauss, who'll be going both ways. Dave Gamble, the man you mentioned already, John. Todd Laxton, the safety, wearing number 16. And the other cornerback, Eric Klaus. Klaus also going both ways. 1st and 10 from the 42. McConnell through the middle, but tough defense there, but he still got about 4 yards up the middle. Jack's the guy we're going to be watching all game, number 40. But it was a tough defense by those youngsters right there.
Westmont's going to have to play tough. They're going to be in against a very strong ball club. Westmont is no sham outfit, Mark. You don't earn a 5-0 record by playing mediocre football. These youngsters came here to play today, and we're looking for a very good matchup under a bright fall sky.
2nd and 5 from the 47-yard line. Full house backfield. First man through, the fullback. Going up in there, that was Ed McGettigan. And the call, really not much yardage as he was stacked up there by that Westmont defense. In the bottom of the pile, nose guard John DeLillo.
Well, this defense is tough. Westmont is going to have to execute very crisp blocking patterns on the inside. Or Oakland, rather, will have to be good on the line of scrimmage. If they can control the line of scrimmage, they'll be able to break McConnell loose and get some big yards out of that young man.
Here's a big play in the early going. McConnell going around the left side. McConnell has a free path if he can get outside. One man to beat. Oh, just an excellent defensive play there by Brad Strauss. As if McConnell got by him, it may have been 6. Great defensive play by the youngster.
Brad Strauss showed outstanding pursuit that time from the corner. Chased McConnell all the way around the corner, grabbed him by the necktie and threw him down hard. Good play by the defense as McConnell showed signs of breaking loose.
Still a first down on that play, John, but a touchdown saving tackle there. Ball's on the 45, it'll be 1st and 10. That was a gain of 7 on that play. Vogelsong calling signals. Oh, almost encroachment, but not. lot of movement, but no flags down there. There's Little going around the right side. Remember, he gained 10 yards before trying to turn the corner, and some crunching tackles inside there. David Gamble was the first one to get him, number 33.
I like the way young Mr. Little runs. He turned the corner well, kept his wits about him, managed to string out the defense, and once he made that corner, turned the afterburners on. Good sure tackle, though, by David Gamble, as Gamble was able to cut the pins out from under him.
That was a 5-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. Once again, we may see some variations in this backfield, but so far we've seen a full house backfield. Second man through is McConnell, but he's hit immediately there. Good defensive play by Westmont. Really, the whole defensive line got him, John.
Well, Lenny Emmerich and David Pugh closed very way that quick opening, shut it down, and so far, Mr. McConnell's been controlled very easily by this Westmont defense.
Big third down play right now. This is the 8th play of this drive. 3rd and 3 from the 38-yard line. Look for McConnell to get it again. No, it's Little. Ball's loose. Little still retained possession of it. Not only that, got close to a first down.
Good concentration by Sean Little. The handoff came through a little hard, hit him up on the chest part of the shoulder pads, bounced free, and Sean was able to concentrate, bring it back under control, and came up just short of a first down.
4th down, 1 yard to go from the 36-yard line. Great athletic ability, John, to be able to come up with this ball.
Here you get on it, pursued the ball, kept his eye on it, and came up with a gainer.
Big 4th and 1 call. They give it to the bread and butter man. Oh, McConnell got through that hole quickly. Great. Right around the left tackle, and first down for Oak Lynn.
Mostalski, Leslie, Barrett, and company opening a tremendous hole for Jackie McConnell. McConnell able to burst through. Good pickup on the play, and Mark, Oak Lynn seems to have a concerted drive going here.
9-yard pickup on that play to be exact, John, and you're absolutely right. The work by these offensive linemen, they've just made a big hole through there, and that one could have gone all the way. He has explosive speed, and now I see why he's averaging 123 yards per game. Second man through Little. Little's gone around this right side all the time, maybe going all the way. Sean Little in for 6.
Great play by Sean Little. Turned that corner easily, turned the Jets on, and took off. Good play. Oak Lynn comes up with the first score of the game.
Sean Little on a 27-yard touchdown run. What a sustained drive by Oak Lynn.
We're going to take another quick look at it. Here you can see Little taking the handoff corner, and the afterburners go on. He's home free.
Well, we're going to be a 63-yard drive, and that really ate up a lot of clock, John, and that's, of course, what Oak Lynn came in here wanting to do. They're going for 2. Oh, beautiful defensive play inside there. No going. That was by Dave Gamble, whose number we called, and really making the stop there a fine play.
David Gamble stuck the shoulder in. Big play that time on the extra point. Oak Lynn comes away with only 6 points on the drive, and from the point of view of the Westmont defense, they did a pretty good job, but it's obvious they're going to have to be a lot tougher on the ends.
Well, obviously, Oak Lynn was not too impressed by that Westmont 5-0 record coming into the contest. Of course, it's really a must game for Oak Lynn, as they are 3-1, and they have to stay in the running for this 90-pound championship. The other teams that have fared well in this division, Williamstown, 3-1 on the season. By the way, common opponents, both Westmont and Oak Lynn have beaten Belmar. They've shut them out. Westmont beat them 9-0. Oak Lynn beat them 14-0. The other Oak Lynn beat them 25-19. Meanwhile, Westmont defeated Palmyra 14-0. By the way, John, we have to say the drive was even more impressive in the fact that Westmont had only given up 13 points coming into the game. Kickoff gets at around the 31. Slips there, and that was Laxton, Todd Laxton.
Laxton trying to make a cut, and the turf just a little soft underneath him as he went to spin, lost his footing, went down hard. Now let's see what this Westmont offense can generate. The Tigers need to come up, respond to that opening drive, touchdown, try and get some points up of their own, Mark.
Excuse me, John, I don't believe that. I misidentified him. I believe that was number 14, Eric Kloss, on the kickoff return. And you're right, Westmont could use a drive in. Here comes the Westmont offense. Craig Brady will be the quarterback. The running backs, Brad Strauss and Eric Klaus. David Gamble, the fine linebacker at right end, and off the left side, and no doing there. Beautiful defensive play by Steve Barrett, the middle linebacker.
Stevie Barrett, middle linebacker for the Oakland Cougars, leads his team in tackles. He's only a 10-year-old, but this is his 5th year of midget football. We might point out that this 90-pound Oakland Cougar team was last year's championship team, went undefeated, and they have 7 returning starters this year, Mark.
Wow. Brady calling signals. We'll get the rest of the lineup. Oh, they seem to like to go around that left side. McConnell gets the first hit on there, and they weren't fooled at all. McConnell with the first hit. Then cleaning up was the rest of this team. John Gooding also helping out on the tackle.
Oakland's got to play tough defense. As we can see, Westmont shows a varied offensive lineup. They like to use a double tailback offense, trying to run plays very quickly off the ends. We're going to get another look here. Tremendous defensive pursuit very quickly coming up. Number 40, Jackie McConnell, to shut that.
Diamond looked like a little bit of a loose ball, but retrieved again by Westmont. Now it's a tough 4th down call.
Fourth and long, and I'm curious to see if Westmont's going to open up their attack very early in this game and go by the airways.
Well, you know, we didn't see a punt in a 70-pound game, but this ball's pretty deep down there. We'll see if we see it this time. No, they're going for it. 4th down, a big 4th down play. Quick kick. Didn't get very far, John. Usually a quick kick like that's done on 4th down. Ball's up around the 40-yard line, and boy, that Oakland defense was really tough.
Well, Oakland came up a bit of a surprising call that time. They were able to pull a kick off. It was nearly blocked at the line of scrimmage. Ball came up, fielded by Oakland. They take over on their own, on the Westmont, 39-yard line. We're down to just a minute and a half remaining in this first quarter. Very quick quarter following that long opening drive by Oakland.
Vogelsong calling signals. Looks like some movement on the offensive line. Intercepted, though, by Westmont. Oh, beautiful defensive play by Brad Strauss. Strauss getting the ball, and there is a flag on the field, but it looked from up here. The penalty was on Oakland, and it seems to be Westmont will keep the ball.
Absolutely. That time Oakland guilty of illegal motion before the snap of the ball. Westmont will refuse the penalty, take possession. Big turnover, Mark. Look at it. Vogelsong had it from the very beginning. Nice stutter step around the potential receiver and cuts to the sideline. Tremendous. Brad Strauss gives his team
1st and 10. Westmont's on its own 43-yard line. First turnover of the game. Inside, really no going, as the whole Oakland defensive line was in on that tackle.
Well, Oakland's defense thus far, Mark, seems to be controlling the line of scrimmage.
John, this game's going so fast. Let's get to the rest of the identifying. Of course, we have Gamble at right end offensively. Laxton's a slot back. Bob Passarella, who they tell us weighs just 50 pounds but is tough as nails, he'll be one of the ends also. Along with Brett Nazarick, they'll be alternating. Jason Clark's the tackle, Len Emmerich, Alan Goodwin's the center, David Pugh, and Chris Hoffman the right tackle. Keeper, not much going for Brady. Once again, that Oakland defense will have none of it. That time it was big 65, Sam Gergenti.
Gergenti came up with a very strong play that time. Westmont had moved both their running backs, their halfbacks, up into the line of scrimmage nearly in an attempt to gain additional blockers. And Mark, that's the end of the first quarter of play.
So we've done one period of play, and already Oakland, just as we had in the 70-pound game, has jumped out to a big 6-0 lead, and we continue to see impressive play.
As we start this second quarter now, Westmont is going to have to establish their offense. Thus far, their offense has been shut down by a very stubborn Oakland Cougar team.
You're right, John. We have a keeper right now. Has some running around the right side. He may be going all the way in. Oh, beautiful run by Brad Strauss.
Good pursuit. Had it not been for Jack McConnell's pursuit along with Sean Little, Mr. Strauss would have broken that play. A gorgeous quarterback keeper misdirection play, started everyone the wrong way, turned back against the grain. Good pickup by Westmont. That's the kind of play they need to break this game open.
Strauss Strauss with it right here.
Here we see Strauss keeps the ball, turns the corner, gets a good downfield block, and had it not been for Jack McConnell, he was...
1st and 10. Inside the middle, another great play in there. Sean Little making the tackle, but getting a big burst was Eric Klaus, the fullback, showing a big burst of speed.
I think that big break, the turnover by Westmont coming up with the interception, has given their offense just the shot in the arm it needed. Now they're a little more confident and a little more poised.
2nd and 7 from the 27-yard line. It's a tight formation in there. You're fooled who gets the ball. Great second effort in there by Klaus, but he was immediately hit by McConnell, who shows he can do more than just play running back.
I'll tell you, Mark, so far this game is shaping up to everything we had hoped it would be prior to the game. These clubs are very equally matched. They play a good brand of ball, and all of these youngsters are competitors. They come out here to play and enjoy themselves. I think we're in for a treat.
3rd down, 5 yards to go from the 22. Big offensive play. Look how tight this formation is, John. It gets kind of confusing on really who's going to get the ball, but so far Westmont hasn't been confused. I think we're going to have a timeout on the field. There was some confusion out there.
Well, a good call that time by the Westmont offense. They didn't get the lineup they wanted at the line of scrimmage, and rather than take a 5-yard delay of game penalty, waste a timeout, get things back under control. They're in a good field position now. They're down to the 21-yard line.
John, when we have some time, we'd like to tell our viewers about Westmont True Value Hardware. Tired of candy store shopping, bright lights, and no supplies? What's that? You need only one bolt? Our expert salespeople will smile, but our prices will not give you a jolt. Getzinger's, a traditional hardware store since 1932. Have stock up for the fall shopper? Tools, paint, electrical, and winter weathering advised. If your house is sick and your wallet is thin, Westmont True Value Hardware is the store to be in. Remember, our sale expires November 14th, so be prepared winter to last until March 21st. That's Westmont True Value Hardware Store. As we get back to action in there, it's Strauss going around the left side. Strauss going all the way in for the touchdown. Brad Strauss going all the way in, untouched around the left side. Some great blocking in there, and we have a tie ball game.
Just a tremendous surge by the left side of that Westmont Tiger offensive line. Made a nice shutdown block. We'll get another look at it here. You can see and turns the corner. No one's going to touch him. And for Westmont, Mark, they're right back in the ball.
7-yard drive, so they were not demoralized by that opening Oakland score. They've come right back there, and Mr. Strauss has done a lot of the carry. Now we have some shifting going around. Once again, Strauss going around the right side. He went around the left, now he goes around the right side for the extra point. Both times untouched.
Mark, Brad Strauss showed a lot of poise that time. Knew where he had to go, strung the defense out as he turned the corner, put his head down and went right for the corner of the end zone. Big drive by Westmont. They're back in the game point. Here you see Strauss turn the corner, put his head down, and he went into a space not more than a square yard, Mark. The one spot he had to be.
Well, as we see the Westmont bench there, this is the kind of game that you do see when two heavyweights get together in a division. Westmont, of course, coached by Ed Warner, his assistants, Chuck Laird, Jim McGeehan, Bob Summers, Roger Hoffman, and Al Wilkinson, all people giving up of their time, John.
Absolutely, and on the Oakland side of the field, Ed McGettigan, head coach of the 90-pound team, helped by Jim Leslie, Tom Tasivas, and Tom, I hope I got that name right, and Bud Vogelson.
And of course, today's game, as was the first game, in the capable hands of the officials, George Daniels and Charles Mullen. So Westmont going back to kick it off, obviously a team with confidence and a team that really was refused to be shaken by that opening Oakland drive. It was an impressive drive as Little and McConnell are back to receive the kickoff. It'll be Brady doing the teeing up for Westmont. Back and forth action. We saw it in the earlier 70-pound game. A big win for Westmont, a last-second 13-12 victory. Up man through, we have a fumble. Could be Westmont ball, and it is. No, going the other way. It was a little premature on that call, John. It was Westmont. They had it, got out of their grasp, recovered again by Oakland.
Well, Craig Brady and Eric Klaus went down on the ball, tried to control it, and the ball popped free in that wild melee. Oak Lynn coming up with the ball, and that could have been a very, very dangerous break. You know, Mark, these two clubs are ranked 1 and 2 in the league, and it's rather obvious why. These youngsters come out to play football.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Looks like a fumble in there. The Westmont people say they have it.
Mark,
Westmont ball, John.
Chris Hoffman came through and literally took the handoff himself. Didn't even give Jackie McConnell a chance to get his hands on the ball. Big turnover.
A real big turnover right now, and another turnover in this game. You, John.
There you see Chris, the ball popped free, comes up in control.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. A lot of motion inside there. It's really tough to tell who's getting the ball, John.
Well, Westmont is using what seems to be a variation on the double split offense. They're trying to cross up the linebacking core for Oak Lynn, running a bit of a misdirection on every play. And also, it would seem, setting themselves up for some nice reverse plays.
Coach Ed Warner was telling us before the game that they will use a lot of different formations, and really impressive to see these 90-pounders go all these plays. Oh, pass through the middle. Nice defensive play by McConnell going through there. Good pass by Brady. Just incomplete.
It was, Mark. I like that play. It's a very quick play to run, particularly in this situation where it was only a 2nd down and long.
We're in the 2nd period right now. Westmont leading the game by a score of 7-6. Just a great drive. Touchdown by Klaus. They're trying to score again. The backs are in the eye. 2nd back through is Klaus once again. Klaus stopped up there by McConnell, and Mr. McConnell and Mr. Klaus are meeting quite a bit.
Well, that's as it should be. Both of these youngsters lead their clubs, both in their play and in their attitude. And Mark, I continue to be impressed by the sophistication and by the dedication of these youngsters. They're out there executing these plays as well as could possibly be hoped.
4th down, 4 yards to go from the 27-yard line. Pass again, Brady with a nice spiral. Oh,
in and out of the hands of David Gamble, and just a terrible, terrible break as Gamble had broken beyond the defensive secondary, Mark.
Oh, and there was a beautiful pass there by Brady. Put it right on the money. Gamble was wide open. Of course, Oak Lynn looked like they were playing for the run. Fooled that time, and that was just a tough break, but a good try by the youngster. So Westmont holding the lead in the 2nd period. Oak Lynn's defense held that time. John, it seems, as we have a 1st down call, both teams are having those deceptive plays inside, but the defensive lines are having nothing to do with that, as John DeLillo coming up that time for the big stop for the Westmont Tigers.
I think it's an example of how well these youngsters have been coached in the fundamentals. They're keeping their nose on the ball.
There's that tough Westmont defense. Not much on that. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cougars of Oak Lynn. Ball spotted near the 27-yard line. Ball inside there. McConnell, or make that Sean Little going in there. Once again, David Gamble in on the tackle.
And Mark, we can hear the sounds of pads popping all the way up here in the booth. I don't think I'd want to be down on that field, either in or out of pads, the way they're hitting.
Yeah, I don't care how light those kids are. I don't think I'd want to be there either, John. A lot of pursuit by both teams.
You know, I had the opportunity to go out and watch Oak Lynn practice during the week, and I am impressed with the way their coaches work with them and giving these kids good fundamental skills and, in particular, good conditioning.
Well, I think that's obvious, the fundamentals, by the way these teams are shifting all the time, the different formations. As that looked like a fumble that time, but Vogelsong had no place to go, and good play by the defensive line of Westmont. Boy, coming up with some great defensive plays again, and stop them again.
Well, we're in a situation now where Oak Lynn is more or less going to be forced to put the ball up on the punt, Mark. They've lost territory on this drive. Westmont Tiger defense coming up big and stingy.
1 minute to go to halftime as we get the warning, or should I say 4 minutes to go, I'm sorry, John, and 4 minutes to go to halftime. A big play. McConnell back in punt formation. Gamble back there to receive it. Gets a tough snap, and that one was almost blocked. McConnell did a good job of getting it back. Return there by Todd Laxton. Laxton going around the left side. Still no one getting him all the way down to the 20-yard line. Todd Laxton with a fine return, a 20-yard punt return.
That was, and you know, Mark, it was a good snap from center, but unfortunately, as he went to set the ball up to drop it, Jack McConnell lost the handle and was forced to hurry his punt and didn't get all of the ball. The ball took a funny hop, came right up into Todd Laxton's hands, and Laxton immediately took off with the ball. On the play, we had markers thrown by the officials.
All right, John, here's what happens in the midget football. We had a penalty on there that time. It was against Westmont. So Oakland, instead of punting, there is a rule in midget football that you can just tell the referee that you want to punt for 20 yards and the punt will go for 20. But this time, because of the penalty, that enabled them to get the first down.
Indeed, Mark. I think what we had there was a possibly roughing the kicker call. It was a little hard to understand the hand signals being shown. Ball loose.
The ball is loose inside there. It seems to be an Oakland recovery, though. Good defensive line play once again, and Oakland does retain possession.
This game moving along very quickly. We're more than midway through the second quarter of play in a game that thus far has been a one-point ball game, as we had expected. These clubs are very evenly matched.
2nd and 9 from the 38-yard line. Bogelson, full house backfield, going back to pass. The lefty puts it up there. Oh, just missed hitting receiver Eric Hansen on the play, and once again the pass was there.
And just an outstanding individual effort by Eric Klaus. Klaus with the diving stop managed to get his hand on the ball and just tip it away from the receiver.
Great play by there, and both quarterbacks have shown the capability of being able to put the ball up in the air. Big play right now for the Oakland offense. 3rd and 9 from the 38-yard line. The backs are split. McConnell's in the slot. Look out for him on this play. McConnell getting it as a slot back, but hit right there by Craig Brady, and gain of about a yard. Big 4th down, or that was a big 3rd down play, and Brady really held his position on that one.
Well, I like the fact that the Westmont defense is not going with the fakes. They're keeping their positions at home, waiting to see the ball and the runner. We'll get another quick look at it. Here you can see him at the right side of that defensive line, stayed at home and shut the play down.
They're going for it on 4th down. Little going around the right side. He's had a lot of success that way. Gets by one man. Little going for the 1st down. He's got it. Tackled eventually by Gamble at about the 41-yard line.
Good play that time by Sean Little. Little took the pitch out, waited for that last block to be thrown, shrugged his shoulders, turned the corner, and took off. Oakland putting together a drive similar to the way they opened this game.
19-yard gain by Little. Well, it was not a 19-yard gain. It was about a 15-yard gain. Ball not at the 41, at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, I believe as he had gotten out near that sideline, he must have stepped across, and of course the official right on top of the play caught it.
Every time Little has run, he's gone to his right. He just seems to be more comfortable from that side, and he's had some nice gains through the middle there, but the Oakland defense not fooled at all. Big, or should I say, the Westmont defense, big number 75, Chris Hoffman, the first one in on that hit.
You know, Mark, that's a good thought. After running outside and having success, start your movement that way and counter back against it through the inside. But once again, the Westmont defense, very well coached, held their position, waited to see the ball, and made the tackle.
2nd down, 11 yards to go. Full house backfield. Once again, Little going around the right side, gets more good yardage. Now he is up around the 41-yard line.
Just some tremendous blocking by the right side of that Oakland Cougar line as they were able to pop Little through for a quick gainer. And it appeared at first that the Westmont Tiger defense had shut him down, but the hole opened, and it took a good stop at the linebacking side of that defense to stop the play.
Another big Third down play, 3rd and 5 from the 41. They've been going to McConnell on a lot of these third down plays, and why not? But it's Little once again around the right side. Sean will not get up near the first down. It's going to be 4th down, and of course Oakland will be going for it. It's only going to be 4th and about 1 yard to go.
Well, I liked McConnell's play that time. He was obviously the player of choice to run the big play. Instead, he took the fake, went outside and threw a nice downfield block. Sean Little showed a lot of poise. He knew he needed about 5 yards for that first down. When the going got tough, put his head down and picked up an extra 2. His team comes up 4th down and a scant 2 yards.
This is the 9th play in this drive. It started on the Westmont 37-yard line. Good ball control once again. And Westmont has to be guessing. This time it's McConnell. McConnell goes over, looks like he has the first down. And he does. Good, tough running inside there. And once again, we have to credit that offensive line. Gurgenti, Barrett, Mitolsky, Leslie, and Schaefer just doing a heck of a job. Gooding and Hansen on the ends.
Absolutely, Mark. And not doing anything real fancy right now. Just going out, putting your nose down, and getting the job done. And we are at the end of the first half, Mark, in a 7-6 ball game.
Well, John, they came in as the 2 best teams in the division, and really they haven't disappointed us. There's the scores. We get ready for a 3rd quarter of action. It'll be Sean for Oakland. Westmont will be having back there number 16, Todd Laxton, and number 12, Brad Strauss. 7-6, Westmont's lead. Some good drives in the first half. And Little gets a nice kick off of their penalty flag already.
We had a little bit of an offside there. Oakland, the near side special teams member, jumping the line. You may not break that line at the 45 until contact is made with the ball. It's kind of obvious what they were trying to do, Mark, trying to push the kick off to one side and get a man underneath it very quickly.
John, what I was laughing at was referee Charlie Mullen said to the sidelines, relax, I know when offsides is, I don't need help officiating, as we all like to have sideline refs, but the 2 men in pinstripes are doing an excellent job today.
And they are, Mark. And you know, the thing I can't get over is their attitude. They're out here watching and enjoying as much as they are officiating this game.
And the other referee with Charlie Mullen is George Daniels, both doing a fine job. Sean Little once again to put it up. Doesn't get as good a kick this time, but may get better results as that one's down on the ground, picked up there by an up man, and Westmont once again will have good field position in Oakland territory at about the 48-yard line.
Coming up with the ball on that onside kick, I believe, is David Gamble.
Gamble it was, John, picking it up.
And Mark, we're in a situation now where both clubs, for all intents and purposes, played dead even in the first half. One club is going to have to assert itself early on and then hold on. These clubs are so evenly matched and playing such a good concentrated game. I'll be anxious to see what happens.
Wow, there's a good run by Brad Strauss going around the right side. Strauss, the scorer of the touchdown, gets all the way down inside the 30 to around the 26-yard line. John, what a great first play.
And it was Jack McConnell over there on the far side, I believe, along with Joe Mostalski, who were able to make the stopper as young Mr. Strauss turned the corner and the afterburners.
And that was about a yard gain we'll give him on that. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Westmont means business early in the 3rd period. We'll get those lineups for you. Craig Brady, once again a quarterback. It'll be Eric Klaus, Brad Strauss, manning the running back positions. Once again inside there, it's Eric Klaus.
Sam Gurgeni with a big tackle as Klaus had an opening and started to break through. Gurgeni came out of nowhere to horse tie him and throw him to the ground. Oakland Cougar defense is going to have to toughen up now. They know Westmont can drive the football. They saw them do it late in the first half.
Man in motion going to the left side. That's Todd Laxton. First man through once again is Strauss. Strauss getting some great penetration inside the 20 to the 14-yard line. A great gain once again by Brad Strauss.
And had it not been for Jack McConnell and teammates being able to finally track him down, Mr. Strauss had himself 6 points. Strauss showing good balance as he broke through, managed to carry one fella a good 4 yards with him as they went down the field.
That was a 13-yard gain now, and Westmont really has the momentum. They have the lead also, 7-6. Once again, they come out, a little bit of confusion as Brett Nazareth goes to the other side. Brady just taking command as a signal caller. Pitch out to the left. Oh, but a great defensive play. McConnell the first one in on there, and Oak Lynn really getting stubborn right now. Great defensive play, and Brad Strauss was not able to turn the corner.
Steve Barrett came up quickly along with McConnell, read the play clearly, and split the blockers. Westmont had a good idea, the quick pitch and pull a man out to try and get the blocking set up. Read it well. Here you get another look at quick pitch to the backfield, and McConnell and Barrett closing quickly.
This is a tough situation right now for Westmont. 2nd and 16 at the 20-yard line. So a big defensive play by Oak Lynn. Couldn't have come at a better time for the Cougars. Oh, once again, Strauss is handled on there by the defensive line, and going in first was Charlie Schaefer with a great tackle on there, number 75.
Steve Barrett once again coming up big, and Westmont has to take a timeout and reorganize here. They're getting a little flustered. They had the ball in superior field position down around the 15. Now they're all the way back at about the 22. About 7 minutes remain in this third quarter. The quarter's moving very quickly. Westmont trying to put this drive together, Mark.
As we get back to the play right now, 3rd and 18. Brady going back to pass, has a receiver open. Oh, touchdown pass to Gamble.
And Mark, that was almost a carbon copy of the play they tried in the first half, when unfortunately Gamble had the ball bounce away from him. That time just a Gamble wide open and the ball right on the numbers. Big touchdown for Westmont.
Well, that play was open before, as you mentioned, in the first half, and Gamble had 2 steps on his defenders, and just a tremendous play coming up.
Gamble out racing the defense backs, and just a pretty catch. Good concentration. A tough ball to handle, by the way, coming in over his shoulder.
That's a good point you made, and a fly pattern done to perfection, and Brady really throwing it up there and kind of emulating another Brady. Haddon Township quarterback Steve Brady, who's an all-conference quarterback. They're the kind of plays he makes, and the youngster really does a good job over the middle, and Gamble just missed that time, but another good play by the young quarterback.
And so Westmont comes away, picking up 6 points on the drive. They now lead Oak Lynn 13-6 midway through the third quarter of this very exciting 90-pound game. And Mark, I continue to be impressed with the sophistication and the capabilities of both ball clubs. These young men come out here, and one would think in this age group, they would not have the physical skills to be able to play at this level. I have been very pleasantly surprised to see the tremendous skill development and concentration that these youngsters show. They keep their head in the ball game, they pay attention to what's going on, and I must say also they show good sportsmanship. After a play is over, they're helping one another up off the ground regardless of the color of their jersey.
I think a lot of that can be attributed, John, and you'll agree, to the coaching of both clubs, Westmont and Oak Lynn. It starts from up top. They lead by example, and both teams fine character, good fundamentals, and just 2 solid organizations. So we're going to be having the kickoff now. By the way, that was a 5-play, 48-yard drive, a drive that saw 3 first downs in there, and Westmont's showing right now why 5-0 on the season. There you see Sean Little going back for the kickoff. Little picks it up at the 28. Oh, falls, and if he didn't fall, he may have had one man to beat and could have been gone.
Well, there again, we saw the softness of this field coming into play as Sean tried to make a quick cut to step around Brad Strauss. Strauss had him cut off at the outside, and unfortunately, Sean lost his footing and went down hard.
Well, now we'll see what the Oak Lynn offense can do. Let's reintroduce them. Vogelsong will be the quarterback. It'll be Sean Little will be one of the running backs. Bob Bruns, Jack McConnell, and Ed McGettigan. Bruns will be alternating. John Gooding and Eric Hans in the ends. The linemen, Garenti, Steve Barrett, Joe Matolsky, Jim Leslie, and Charles Schaefer. There's Little going around. What a cut! Has one man to beat. We'll see if Strauss can get him. Oh, Beautiful defensive play by Strauss to run him down, but not before Sean Little picks up a big chunk of real estate.
And Mark, when we get a look at this play, you're going to see some tremendous running by a 90-pound youngster. Sean Little showed tremendous open field ability. Here we see the quick pitch. He cut back against the flow of play, out-racing the defenders, and had it not been for Brad Strauss's tremendous foot speed, seeing a youngster here and Mr. Little had not anticipated making a breakaway effort today, and he is really lifting his offense.
40-yard gain that time by the youngster. Once again, going around the right side. There's McConnell, the guy we did expect to see, trying to get around the left side, but still on his feet. Boy, that youngster just won't go down. Brought down by most of the defenders for Westmont. Gamble was in there prominently on the play.
9 men to bring down Jack McConnell. McConnell, a tremendously strong runner, very solidly built young man. And I have to believe at this point, Mark, that unless Oak Lynn can cash in on this drive, they're going to be in big, big trouble.
Well, I think that big run by Sean Little really picked them up and gave them the motivation and the spark they need. Second down, 7 yards to go from the 27. The backs are open. Second man to the left side, that was Bruins on the play. Not very much. Good defensive play by Westmont in there. Number 51, David Pugh.
The Westmont Tigers beginning to toughen up on that defense. They have their backs to the wall, holding just a 7-point lead late in the third quarter.
Third down. We'll call it 7 yards to go. A big play right now for Oak Lynn. Going to McConnell around the left side. He'll have nothing doing that time. Len Emmerich coming up from his linebacker position. Got him at the first shot.
Lenny Emmerich showed some tremendous ball sense that time. A misdirection play. McConnell coming back towards him. And as we mentioned at the outset, McConnell a very dangerous runner. Lenny Emmerich stuck his head down, made good contact with the pads, buried that shoulder and planted McConnell on his back. Big defensive play. Forced the fourth down, Mark.
Once again, John, 4th and around 7. Little, as he's had so much success on that right side. Little breaks one tackle. He has the first down, and once again, it's the running of Sean Little that keeps it in there. He was stopped there by Brady.
Great individual effort by Sean Little. Sean was hit twice hard. Looked like he was going to go down. Gathered his legs underneath him, maintained his balance, and picked up the first down, enabling Oak Lynn Cougars to keep their drive alive.
This drive started back on Oak Lynn's own 30-yard line. Of course, the big run, the 40-yard gain by Little, and he has been really impressive. And needless to say, they cannot be keying on McConnell because Little's been giving them fits. Full backfield, McConnell once again around the left side, once again stopped, and Len Emmerich, a guy whose name we've been calling all half, once again in on the stop.
David Pugh got excellent penetration that time, forced himself between the guard and tackle, plugged the hole, and took McConnell nearly as quickly as he had the handoff.
We'll give him about a 1-yard gain on that, so it'll be 2nd and 9. This is the 7th play in this drive from the 19-yard line. McConnell's been running a lot to the left side, John. I'd like to see what he would do to the right side. There's a guy who's been going to the right side. Little this time hit initially, but still got some extra yardage on there. And again, another fine play by the Westmont defense, enabling him in there. Good hit by, it looked like Brady again.
Well, that time the Westmont Tigers were able to string out the offensive blocking line and make some good penetration. They forced Little to cut early. Here you spent stringing him out, and Sean, they closed down his hole very quickly and left him no place to run.
Big down, 3rd and 6. Sean Little once again around the right side. He fumbles the ball, but it's picked up by his own man. John Gooding recovered the fumble.
Heads up play by John Gooding, able to maintain possession. And nearly as quickly as he was handed the ball that time, Sean Little took a hit, maintained his balance, but it jarred the ball loose.
Needless to say, this is a very big 4th down call. 4th, and it looks like 4 yards to go for the Oak Lynn Cougars. Very crucial because they trail at this point 13-6. Oh, there was some movement in the backfield. No flags. McConnell again down that left side, and he will not get the first down. Once again, the Westmont defense was there and getting up at the bottom of that pile
That was a tremendous team defensive effort, Mark.
That's what I was going to say. I was looking for one guy, and they were all getting up there, John, and it's leading this ball game, and they're in the driver's seats right now as they have from the 10-yard line.
Westmont Tigers that time, and that may prove a game breaker right there. Westmont now in control, 90 yards from pay dirt.
But as we saw in the 70-pound game, nothing is assured as there's some movement up the middle. Once again, some trick plays. This time, Oakland was not fooled. Brad Strauss going up there in the middle for a gain of a few.
Both clubs are going to have to bear down now. Oakland would love to force a turnover this deep in Tiger territory.
No doubt about that, and the Oakland defense must stiffen because if they can hold Westmont, of course, we haven't seen the deepest punts around, and they could get themselves some good field position, but they must hold. Breaking through there once again, Laxton. Or should I say, yeah, it was Laxton going in there, the slot back going up there. That was, I believe, John, his first carry of the game.
That's the first good chance he's had through the offense, and a super job by the guards in the center that time on a quick hitting play. Popped the hole wide open, and he was by the linebackers before they could even move.
Lining up on there, good blocking as you mentioned, John. Hoffman, Pugh, Goodwin, Emmerich, and Jason Clark. Again going up through the middle. Nothing really fancy with this Westmont team. It's just a lot of good blocking, good hitting up there as Laxton once again got the call.
Well, Mark, I think you were absolutely correct in that Westmont Tigers are in the driver's seat now, and I think it's going to be indicated by their ball control offense. I doubt seriously we'll see any more aerial displays unless they get in trouble.
Or unless they go down a little bit more in the Oakland territory right now. I have to agree with that. They've been doing good running, they've been having great blocking, and they've been really winning the battle of the trenches so far, but that time it was Oakland winning the battle of the trenches. Charlie Schaefer, the first man to make the initial contact, also getting up John Gooding. Gooding is a really impressive player, of course. Recovered that earlier fumble for his own team, and just seems like an alert player for this Oakland Cougar defense.
I'll tell you, the man in the middle of that defense, Steve Barrett, number 54 for Oakland, has to come up big now. He's the man that they need to stop the drive.
Third down, 7 yards to go from the 25-yard line. Brady on a reverse. McConnell making the first hit. That looked like Laxton coming from his slot back position. And that seems to be shy of the first down as we get the end of the quarter, John.
The end of the third quarter, Mark, a tremendous midget football game, 90-pound division. The score at the end of the third quarter, the Westmont Tigers, 13. The Oakland Cougars, 6. Mark, as we start this fourth quarter now, Westmont will try and play ball control offense, keep the ball on the ground, eat up that clock. Oakland, on the other hand, needs to force a turnover and come up with some quick points.
4th and 2 from the 30. There's a blitz in there, but Strauss has the first down. Oakland was guessing, they blitzed, they almost got the handoff just about as Brady just got it off, but Strauss getting the big run for the first down.
Well, good anticipation by the defense, and that time I think the one problem they had was they penetrated a little too far and more or less opened the hole themselves. But a good thought on defense, trying to force the play.
Remember, this is the key time, and Oakland's going to have to stiffen pretty soon. This is a drive that started back on Westmont's own 10-yard line. They've continued to hold on the balls they've gotten. That was just their third first down in this drive. Again, great blocking by the offensive line. And Strauss at quarterback now. Strauss on a keeper. Hit down there by Sean Little, but once again near first down territory. Boy, he's quick, John.
He is, and Sean Little made the stopper that time. Had he not been able to bring Mr. Strauss down, there was nothing between him and the end zone but about 50 yards of wide open spaces.
They've done that a few times. We're back once in a while.
Right, he pulls a quick bootleg and a sure tackle by Sean Little. Example of how well these youngsters are coached. That time Sean made sure he locked his arms up and made the solid tackle.
Now here's 2nd and 1 from the 43, and really a throwaway down. This might not be a bad time to try, say, the bomb, but no, they go with it safe. They get the first down up the middle. Once again, Oakland was blitzing, and they really have to blitz right now because they have to get that ball back as, once again, it was Mr. Strauss.
Absolutely, and you know, something that's rather interesting to me, with this Oakland Cougar team, they use a number of defensive sets. All of them are wig-wagged in from the sideline. Now that's an indication, I think, of the way these kids approach the game. They're here to learn, and they're here to play to the best of their abilities. They've learned enough. They don't need to be coached in person. They can take signals and execute the plays.
There was a handoff inside there, stopped for a gain of a few yards by, once again, that tough Oakland defense. Getting in there first was number 65, Sam Gergenti, and Gergenti, a solid performer both ways today. In case you just joined us, fourth quarter action. Westmont in the driver's seat, up, as you see it there, 13-6. Second down, 7 yards to go for the Tigers. Laxton again, Laxton pushing for that extra yardage, tackled by Sean Little, and we continue to call both youngsters' numbers this game.
Well, he made a good move that time, Mark. He actually got caught in the backfield, managed to pull his legs free, and was able to stretch it out for a gainer. We've got timeout called now by the Oakland Cougars as they're trying to redefine their defense here, try and set things up to prevent those kind of long gainers and medium-range gainers that have kept this drive going for the Tigers. Westmont holding a 7-point lead. We're about midway now through the fourth quarter.
Big third down play right now. Through the middle, it looks to be a little bit short of a first down. Laxton once again going through, and Laxton has all of a sudden gotten a lot of action in this second half. Wow, you saw the measurement, fourth and just about inches. No need to guess what's going to happen now. Westmont's been daring all day. They're not going to stop when it's fourth and inches.
Absolutely, and that tackle by Leslie and Barrett looms even bigger now. They combined to stop the Tigers short of that first down.
This has got to be the defensive play of the game for Oakland. Oh, and there it is. They have stopped. What a play on there.
Tremendous surge that time by Barrett, Leslie, and Gooding.
Oh, we called they had to have that defensive play, and they did just that. They rose to the occasion. Oakland could get a new life from this, John.
Absolutely. Big Sam Gergeni also helped to close up that middle, and the Cougars needed that surge. Now they've got the ball back. They're at about their own 45-yard line. Midway through the fourth quarter, trailing in this game by 7 points. They need a score.
John, that was a 12-play drive that time by Westmont, and that really ate up a lot of the clock, but still, Oakland in the ball game right now. McConnell stopped once. Look at that second effort. Gamble, the first one that hit him, and then a horde of tacklers to follow.
I like the way the youngster hit the line of scrimmage, got shut down, rolled to his right. A move you don't expect to see at this age level. Picked up a good gainer that time, a good solid 4 yards.
2nd and 6 from the 49-yard line, and it's kind of tough for a kid like McConnell because even though he's just a youngster, he's got the reputation already and everyone knows about him, and that gets the other team fired up. There's Little. Look at that speed around the right side. Little has an open way. Little, one man to beat. That's Gamble. Gamble making the sure tackle down there. Inside the 30 to around the 27-yard line.
Big gainer around the right corner, and that offensive line really executed on that play. Gave Sean Little a wide open field to turn the corner, and upfield he went. Oakland now showing a little bit of surge. Here you see the quick pitch and around the corner, some good downfield blocking. And had it not been for David Gamble, that was 6 points.
22-yard gain that time for Sean Little. He's been the main man so far. Looks like some encroachment on that Westmont defense. John, you mentioned that fine run. Let's, again, give the unsung heroes of the team, the offensive line, some credit. Gergenti, Barrett, Mitulski, Leslie, and Schaefer really opening up some big holes. Gooding and Hansen around the ends.
I'll tell you, Mark, I'm not at all disappointed by this game. It has lived up to its billing, and these two teams deserve to be ranked number 1 and 2 in their league. They're very good ball clubs.
Westmont, remember, coming in with a 5-0 record. Oakland, 3-1, and there's Sean Little again with extra effort. He was initially hit there by Jason Clark, but still was able to get a few yards.
Big play inside that time by Billy Popoff as he was able to grab an ankle and set the man up for the final tackle. And Mark, you know, it's all too easy to sit up here in the booth and say, oh, well, these are just kids, and, you know, I don't expect a whole lot from the way they're playing. These youngsters have come out here, and they do justice to just about any league they played in.
2nd and 2 from the 21. McConnell going around the left side. Again, hit by that tenacious defense. Once again, it was a fine two-way performer, Brad Strauss on the tackle.
Brad Strauss, and closing quickly, Craig Brady shut off that corner. There was no place to run. And the Oakland offense is sputtering. They need to generate a little bit of flow now. They've got a 3rd and 10. They were driving, and they're in desperate need of a touchdown.
Needless to say, Mr. Strauss has been very impressive going both ways today for Westmont. This is a big one right now. 3rd down, about inches. Little, on a rare time around the left side, gets the first down.
And he was fortunate that time as David Pugh had him by the ankles. He managed to step free, but the hole closed very quickly.
So we have 4 minutes left in the ball game. Westmont holding on to a 13-6 lead, but Oakland once again knocking on the door.
A big 4th down play now for the Oakland Cougars.
4th and about 5 from the 24-yard line. There's the play that's been so successful today. Little going up near the 19, near the first down, and not a first down. Good defensive play once again by Westmont to stop that fine young running back, and there's Little, has to be disappointed.
Well, I'm sure he is, Mark. He's given his all out here this afternoon. He's played very well. He's been running hard. And that Westmont defense, boy, they're just not giving up the easy runs. You slip through their defensive line, the linebackers and safety men close down on you very quickly. The Cougars are going to have to force a turnover now. We've only got about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in this 4th quarter. They need the ball back, and they need it back in a hurry.
Strauss getting it, stopped by the whole right side of that defensive line this time. And you're right, they need it back. Seems to be that Westmont is in the driver's seats, but stranger things have happened. And of course, Oakland will probably be tackling the football to get that turnover.
Well, we have to keep in mind that the 90-pounders were on the sideline to watch the tremendous conclusion of that 70-pound game just a little while ago. And I'm sure the thoughts of a 1-point loss are fresh in the mind of those youngsters from Oakland.
Brady leads his team out. No, that's Strauss at quarterback. Strauss on the keeper on the right side. He's had so much success with this. Strauss keeps going. Virgil Song forces him out of bounds, and then McConnell gives him a hit, and the Westmont team does not like it. They felt maybe it was a little bit of a late hit right now, and Strauss is still down.
Youngster took a hard hit that time. Went down very hard. The coaches, of course, going right to his aid. Seems to have been stunned by the hit. We might point out the playing field is in and of it soft. The sidelines are hard. Here you see with the keeper, turns the corner, little stutter step, and upfield he goes, racing along the sideline. Jack McConnell with a very tough hit.
That was a 28-yard gain that time. Strauss has really been the star of this ball game so far for Westmont.
All right, and we're pleased to report that Brad Strauss is up and moving around. He took quite a pop. He'll be all right, though.
We had some people coming into the game. Robert Passarella checks in for the Haddon Township team. Or should I say the Westmont team. I'm so used to talking about the high school at Haddon Township, and of course all of these players, probably future Haddon Township Hawk players for Westmont. 1st and 10. And you see the blitzing all the time, and that can create some big holes right there as Laxton goes through, tackled again by McConnell. And McConnell got a lot of raves as a running back, but that youngster is a tenacious hitter in the secondary.
He is indeed. He's been a mainstay on defense for Oakland all afternoon. And in the waning seconds of this game, waning moments, should I say, of this game, Westmont doing precisely what they have to do, controlling the ball, picking up the first downs, keeping the drive going, and not giving Oakland a shot at that final touchdown that they'll need not to score.
2nd and 4 from the 44-yard line. Once again, good ball control. Laxton again, hit by the left side of the Oakland line.
Jimmy Leslie, Steve Barrett coming up big along with Joe Mostalski.
in line.
Jimmy Leslie, Steve Barrett coming up big along with Joe Mostalski.
And the chains are being moved.
Now we've got a 3rd down and about 1 to go, Mark. Big play on this drive. Should Westmont be able to pull a 1st down here, they're going to be pretty near capable of running out the clock.
But again, we have to look for the turnover. Oakland has been blitzing just about every play. We'll see how they do it this time. Klaus going in there, looks to have made it. We'll wait for the official indication.
And they're going to have to call the chains out. That one's a